All right. When they came away from nope, screwed it up. Tullin Zuya, they weren't eating. They observed a continuous fast. It was enough that they watch intently for the dawning, then that they watch closely for the rising of the sun, taking turns at watching for the great star named Sun Carrier. This one came first before the sun when the sun was born, the newly risen Sun Carrier. And there always they were facing the east when they were there in the place named Tulanzuya. Their gods came from there. It wasn't really here that they received their fiery splendor and their dominion, but rather that the tribes, great and small, were subjugated, and humiliated. When they were cut open before Tohill, all the peoples gave their blood, their gore, their sides, their underarms. Fiery splendor came to them all at once at Tulin along with great knowledge, and they achieved this in the darkness in the night. And now they came away. They tore themselves away from there. Now they left the east. Our home is not here. Let us go on until we see where we belong, said Tohill. He actually spoke to them, to Jaguar Kitse, Jaguar Knight, Not Right Now, and Dark Jaguar. It remains for you to give thanks, since you have yet to take care of bleeding your ears, yet to take stitches in your elbows. You must worship. This is your way of giving thanks before your God. Very well, they replied. Then they bled their ears. They cried in their song about coming from Tulin. They cried in their hearts when they came away, when they made their departure from Tulin. Alas, we won't be here when we see the dawn, when the sun is born, when the face of the earth is lit, they said. I'll do one more. And then they came away just camping on the road. People were just camping there. Each tribe slept and then got up again. And they were always watching for the star, the sign of the day. They kept this sign of the dawn in their hearts when they came away from the east. In unity, they passed beyond the place named Great Hollow today. And then they arrived on top of a mountain there. All the Quiche people got together there along with other tribes, and all of them held council there. The name the mountain has today is from when they took counsel together. Place of Advice is the name of the mountain. They got together and identified themselves there. Here am I. I am Quiche person, and you there, you are Toms. This will be your name. The Toms were told, and then the Iloks were told. You are Iloks, this will be your name. The three Quiches must not be lost. We are united in our word, they said, and when they fixed their names. They said when they fixed their names. And then the Cacachickles were named. Their name became Cacachickles. So too with the Rabanals, this became their name. It has been lost today. And then there are those of Birdhouse as they are named today. These are the names they named for one another. When they held the council there, they were still waiting for the dawning, watching for the appearance of the rising star, the one that came before the sun when it was born. When they came away from Tulin, we broke ourselves apart, they told each other. This is what kept weighing on their hearts, the great pain they went through. There was nothing to eat, nothing to feed on. They were just smelling the tips of their staffs as if they were thinking of eating them, but they weren't eating at all as they came. And it is clear how they crossed over the sea. And it isn't clear how they crossed over the sea. They crossed over as if there were no sea. They just crossed over on some stones, some piled up on the sand, and they gave it a name. Stone courses, sand banks was their name for the place where they crossed through the midst of the sea. Where the waters were divided, they crossed over. And this is what weighed on their hearts when they took counsel, that they had nothing to eat. They had one beverage to drink, just one atoll, which they brought up on the mountain named Place of Advice, and they also brought Tohill, Olex, and Hakowitz. Observing a great fast was Jaguar Quitze with his wife. Red Sea Turtle is his wife's name. Okay. Likewise, doing it was Jaguar Knight with his wife named Prawn House. And Not Right Now was also there at the great feast with his wife named Water Hummingbird, along with Dark Jaguar, whose wife's name is Macaw House. So these were the ones who fasted there in the blackness in the early dawn. Their sadness was great when they were there on the mountain named Place of Advice today, and their gods spoke there. Okay.